welcome tonight. Thank you for being here. We will get started with an invocation and then the pledge, and Commissioner Askew will lead us off, please.
Let us bow our heads, please. Kind and gracious Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for the presence of everyone here tonight. I want to thank you for the beautiful day you've given us. I want to thank you for the gift of salvation, Lord. I want to ask you to be with us tonight and help us to make sound decisions, make things, good decisions that'll help the community. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Please stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. We are now in session, the regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Walker County on February the 5th, 2026 at 6 p.m. And again, welcome. I will ask the clerk to now establish a quorum.
Present. Commissioner Askew.
here.
Chairwoman Teams.
Here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
All right. Now, before we approve the agenda, I need to ask the board to let me make a motion to amend, to move the items in the public hearing under new business 14.8-14.15 to occur directly after the public hearing for the planning and zoning items. This will allow the board to go ahead and make their votes ahead of time so that it can speed things up, and those that are here just for that part of the meeting can then leave unless they want to stay for the whole meeting. So I make the motion that we amend the agenda to move the planning and zoning items for vote up to be directly after the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? So moved. Thank you. So we need to approve the agenda now with the amendment. May I have a motion to approve the agenda with a,
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
thank you, second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right. The agenda is approved as amended. Now we need to approve the minutes from the last meeting on January 8th, 2026 at 6 p.m. That was another regular scheduled meeting, so may I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Any second?
Second.
Any discussion about those minutes? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? The minutes are approved from the January meeting. Thank you. The only comment I have tonight, because we got a lot on the agenda, so I'm not going to talk a long time. I just need to remind everybody that next month in March, on March 5th, our meeting will be at 6:30 in this space. So we're moving it 30 minutes later, starting in March. Thank you. So the next thing is our financial report, and I'll invite Christian Roach, our CFO, to talk to us about the November budget.
Hey, Joe, can you change slide for me? Thank you. Okay, so November 2025, year-to-date revenues are $133,306.97, which is 21% of yearly expectation. We are targeted at 16.65, so that is good. Our year-to-date expenditures are $5,689,389.14, which is 15% of budget. We should be getting an audit report at the net, kind of like an update. I'll give an update of the audit of last year's financial numbers, and then we'll also cover December. So, you have any questions about the financials?
Will that be at the March meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Christian.
Of course.
Thank you. All right. The next one is committee reports. We don't have any committee reports tonight, so we'll move on to department reports, and I will ask Lisa, our county clerk, to approach the podium and tell us the information that she has to share
Excuse me.
related to what she does for this board.
All right, thank you. My name is Lisa Richardson. I'm the county clerk for Walker County, and I appreciate the chairwoman teams and the commissioners for listening to me speak tonight. When the current administration took office, we took a close at how our internal systems were operating. What we found was that many of them were outdated and heavily dependent on manual processes. This limited our ability to efficiently access information, pull the data when needed, and operate to the level expected of a modern county government. One clear example was agenda preparation. Everything has been done manually. Documents were emailed, packets were compiled by hand, and last-minute changes meant juggling multiple versions. While this process worked, it required a lot of staff time and created opportunities for delays, duplication, and inconsistencies. To address these challenges, we transitioned our meetings and agenda platform to Civic Plus, which was successfully used for our January meeting. By clicking the link on the county website or Facebook page, users are taken directly to the current agenda and the agenda packets, where each agenda item and its supporting documentation can be viewed or downloaded. The platform also includes a time-stamped video streaming. That means if someone wants to watch a specific item, you don't have to watch the whole meeting. You can click on that timestamp and go right to the exact item that you're needing to watch. Overall, this system gives us a single centralized place to submit, review, and organize agenda items and supporting materials. It reduces preparation time, improves accuracy, and ensures everyone, board members, staff, and the community, is working from the same most up-to-date information. From a transparency standpoint, the platform enhances public access by making agenda and supporting materials easier to find, search, and review online. For an operational standpoint, it improves efficiency, accountability, and increased transparency. Most importantly, this transition aligns with our broader goal of using technology to support good governance, responsible use of county resources, and increased transparency. Beginning with the March 5th meeting, the county will no longer provide full paper agenda packets to the public. Printed agendas will still be available, but supporting materials will be accessed electronically using a tablet or cell phone. For ADA compliance, a limited number of printed packets will be available upon request. This is a meaningful improvement over the manual process, and we believe it will benefit the board, the county staff, and the citizens we serve. Is there any questions from the board?
Nope, thank you.
Thank you so
Lisa.
much for your
Thank
time.
It'll save us money on paper too, and copying.
Save some trees.
We have one presentation. I'll invite Kayla Johnson from the Gordian Consulting Group to come and talk to the board about what's going on at the courthouse and fill us in on any future things that may be coming down the pipe. So welcome, Kayla.
Hi, well, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Kayla Johnson. I'm an account manager with Gordian. We represent the state contract for construction procurement that is held by DOAS. Angie interacted with us on interior renovations for the courthouse, knowing that you guys wanted to restore it. We had a meeting in person, walked the site, and as we were walking, I noticed that there could have been some potentially environmental hazards in the space. Once we contracted with FH Passion, who is also here if you guys have any questions, we determined that our first phase would be to do environmental testing and also some structural reviews. Once we received those results, we did notice that there is mold, asbestos, and lead-based paint throughout the courthouse. There are 4 active areas of mold that we are looking to contain and remediate immediately before proceeding with any other additional work. Do you guys have any questions?
The board will vote on this particular item that she's talking about later in the meeting, so we want to provide some pictures for the audience to see exactly what we're talking about and why the courthouse has got to have some attention. So is there any questions from the board?
Do we know how that mold is getting in? Has that been remedied with the concrete
It has.
repairs that were done on the outside?
There are also concerns with the roof. We believe that the roof has some structural issues that are allowing water to come in and will continue to allow for mold to grow throughout the space. We will be providing a proposal to this board to add some structural support to the roof and maybe even look at the roof drains.
So this is just the remediation of the mold and the asbestos that's existing now. There's more work to be done to keep it from coming back.
Right.
And starting from the top of the roof and coming down is primary. So that'll be the next time when we get together, we'll talk about that. But today, we're just talking about the remediation and containment.
Correct, yep. There are 4 areas, which are the 4th floor staircases on both sides of the building. There is office 318 on the 3rd floor, and then the attic also is showing significant mold elevations that we would like to contain, remediate, and then address any of the concerns that water intrusion could be causing.
I will add that the number of visitors, we've got that number together, and the average number of visitors per year is 55,000 to 71,000 people going through that structure. And at one year, not too long ago, they had 98,000 people go through that structure. So it's not safe for the public, it's not safe for the people who work there, but we're on it, aren't we? So
We are, definitely.
And welcome to the Passion folks here. Thank you for coming today, too. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, man, she covered pretty much all the scope, but yeah, basically the intent is on this first round, address the areas of highest concern. And then on the next phase, address the areas. We have a pretty good idea of what's causing the issues, but you always want to uncover what you can, especially with the historical structure, make sure we're addressing everything with it. Uncover it, treat the current issues, and then make sure the plan for phase 2 is still adequate and in place.
Great. One last thing, if you don't mind to explain to the board the relationship between your two companies real quick.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Gordian facilitates the state contract with DOAS. DOAS bids out construction procurement with close to 80 plus contractors in the state of Georgia. From there, through their bid process, they then reduce the list to 24. FH Passion is one of the contractors who can help us statewide on the DOAS contract.
And you've got lots of experience, I understand, with historical buildings, so that makes you a good expert.
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions from the board? All right. Thank y'all very much for being here tonight. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
And like I said, the board will vote on this later this evening. All right, now we'll move to the public hearing section of the meeting for the planning and zoning items. I'm going to read the instructions for how this section works, because I think there's a lot of people here that may not know how this actually operates. So for your information, this will help you understand what we'll do during this period of time. So public hearing instructions. Both sides will have 12 minutes total to speak on their points relating to the specific petition under consideration. Each person speaking must state their name and where they live, as well as fill out the sign-in sheet on the podium. The petition or applicant will be invited to the podium first. They can use the entire 12 minutes for themselves if they wish to. Then those in opposition will be invited to the podium next. If a group of people wish to elect one speaker to represent their interests, they can take the entire 12 minutes. Otherwise, each other person will have to share the remaining time allotted. It is not required that either side use their total 12 minutes, however. When one person stops speaking, the next person may approach the podium without being officially invited by me. We will stop the clock or do our best to try to stop it while there's transition, so as to not waste your time and out of respect for everyone who wants to speak. Each speaker must address the Board of Commissioners and no one else in the room. The speakers will refrain from personal attacks on anyone and should only discuss relevant facts related to the specific petition under consideration at that time. The chair can limit or refuse a speaker the right to continue if any cautionary warning is not complied with. When all speakers have spoken and have been heard on all petitions, the chair will choose to close the time for public comments and then will continue to the voting period with the Board of Commissioners. So with that, we will begin. The first person is G&W Metalworks, item 11.1. Before we ask that, are you here to speak for, are you G&W?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If I can ask the folks in the lobby to try to hold down the murmuring, that would be helpful so we can pay attention to the speakers. All right, let me read the request and then I'll give you the floor. This is a request to rezone from A1 agriculture to RA residential agriculture for property located at 2357 Lower Mill Creek Road, Lafayette, Georgia, 30728. Tax map and parcel number 0-588-004F. The floor is yours.
Good evening. My
Hello.
name's Frankie Ward.
I'm Garrett Bivens.
Hello.
We purchased this property and are planning on revamping the house that's existing there, remodeling it, getting it up to date, and would like a additional building permit on the backside of the property. So that's why we're seeking to have it rezoned.
Okay. Is there any question from the board on this particular
Yes,
item?
ma'am.
Sure.
Are you all gonna live in those houses or for they building to sell, or what's the purpose of the
No,
renovation?
sir. The first house that we remodeled, we plan on selling, and the second house, we're just gonna build for a rental.
Okay. That's my only question.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a seat and we'll get to the voting after a while. The next one is 11.2, Ralph Paul Lemming. Is anyone here to speak for the Lemmings? Uh-huh. Oh, I apologize, Mr. Lemming. Hang on one second.
Couldn't get in.
Well, hold on, Mr. Lemming, hold on one second. I did not ask for opposition from the other, from the first GNW. Is anyone here in opposition of GNW's request for rezoning? Okay, seeing none. Mr. Lemming, please come back. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Mr. Lemming requests a partial rezone of 2.96 acres from A1 agriculture to RA residential agriculture for property located at 0 Old Mineral Springs Road, Lafayette, Georgia, 30728. Tax map and parcel number 0-315-001. The floor is yours, Mr. Lemming.
Yes, ma'am. At the recommendation of this committee to change from originally wanted just the building permits, and they said that I could not do it because it's in agriculture, and they recommended me to change it to residential agriculture because it's lower acreage than qualifies for the rezone for regular age. So it's 2.96 acres.
Yes, yes, sir. That's right.
Yes, ma'am.
So has anything changed with your plan to whom is going to live on that acreage?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
My niece.
Okay. Does the board have any other questions for Mr. Lemming?
Just for clarification, it's your daughter that's gonna live there, right, Paul?
No,
He
ma-
said
no,
niece.
no, sir. It's
I
my
mean, your
niece.
niece, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, okay,
my niece.
yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Lemming.
Yes, ma'am.
And the next one is 11.3, Thomas Guthrie. If anybody's here to speak, opposition. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I'm excited to move on. Is there anyone here in opposition of Mr. Lemming having his rezone? I don't see anybody. Okay, Mr. Guthrie. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mr. Guthrie. Are you Mr. Guthrie?
Yes, I am.
I thought you were. Thank you. Request a partial rezone of 2 acres from A1 agriculture to residential agriculture for property located at 3017 West Cove Road, Chickamauga, Georgia, 30707. Tax map and parcel number 0-243-032. Go ahead, Mr. Guthrie.
Yes, I came before the board in November and requesting a variance at that property. It was approved on the condition that I come back within 6 months and have it rezoned.
Yes.
And I did go before the planning commission last month, and they approved the rezone. I'm asking you to do the same, please.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Guthrie, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of Mr. Guthrie's rezone request? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. 11.4, Joan Brown requests a rezone from A1 to CN Neighborhood Commercial for property located at 6280 Highway 151, Lafayette, Georgia, 30728. Tax map and parcel number 0-516-005. Is anyone here to speak on behalf of Ms. Brown or any representative? Is anyone here to speak in opposition of Mrs. Brown? Please come, that's fine. Tell us who you are and make sure you've signed the sign-in sheet.
Curly Durham. I have 22 acres, well, not 22 acres. We live here 22 years right down the road.
Okay.
We have property. I'm going to try and make it real quick. I looked up the CN zoning. It says building small to prevent large-scale, high-traffic development. if we allow a truck stop to be there at 136, 151, it's gonna be terrible. And there's a lot of traffic come through here now from I-75 and Resaca, go across to Trenton and catch 59 north, okay? Another thing, one of the owners on Facebook said that we need another gas station. 31-mile radius of here, we have 16 gas stations. 12 of them sell diesel and fuel. We don't need another gas station. The zoning said you could have like a small restaurant, retail, but it's not supposed to interfere with the community, okay? If this zoning is changed, it'd probably make my property worth more. I don't want that. We don't need that here. That school needs to be protected, that church needs to be protected, and these residents need to be protected.
Thanks, sir.
Anybody have a question for me?
Just come on up. Yep.
Okay. My name's Doug Hegwood. I'm here representing Naomi Baptist Church, and Ms. Thiem said if our church folks would stand up, be recognized. We're in opposition of the store going on across the road. That's directly across from our church. We're opposed to that. We've been there over 100 years at our church, and we never dreamed we'd have somebody wanting to sell beer and alcohol products right across the road from our church. And we're opposed to that on account of that. We're also concerned, like the previous speaker here, about the traffic. The school traffic backs up down the road almost to the church when school was starting and letting out every day. And you add traffic coming in and out of there from the store, that's just going to add to those problems. We have a fire hall right there, and that could add to a problem, the fire hall answering a call. We're concerned about that. We're concerned about the noise interrupting our church services. We're concerned about the gas trucks coming in to fill up the tanks. Could cause an accident, and it'd be terrible if one of the school buses was involved in that and hurt some of our children. We're concerned about our church children wanting to run across that road, maybe buy a stick of gum or something at the store and getting hit. That's a very dangerous intersection. And we're just totally against this. And honestly, everybody I've talked to, the only people I know in favor of it's the people selling the property and the people wanting to buy the property. The school folks, they're lighting up Facebook about it, and all our church people are against it. And we'd surely ask you to reject this rezoning. And also, it's my understanding that the Walker County Comprehensive Plan is to protect agricultural land. And that's over 15 acres there that would be rezoned. So we don't see how that aligns with the county agenda as far as that goes. Okay. Did I leave anything out, guy? Mine?
I'm Myron Richardson, and I live right across the street on 151 east of the property, or house faced the property, along with other 4 homes there, and we're against this. My big concern is, they're building this gas station there. There's terrible water runoff there now, storm water runoff. With that station going in, I think it's going to be a whole lot more. Right now, there is a creek that runs right down the middle of that property. I don't know what they're going to do to help that or hurt it or whatever, but all that runs right into my property across the street. So it's all going to get us, and we're just afraid that's going to be more and more storm runoff on us. When if it gets built, what's going to happen about any of the fuel spills? Sewer. There's no sewer out there. I'm sure they've had to put something in. I don't know what, but all that could run down to where we're at, and it's all going to capture where we live right in our front yards there. The biggest thing that I'm really concerned about more than anything is the traffic. That intersection is deadly. And with the church, the school, even us on 151, it can be very difficult to get turned there because sometimes the trucks that come off the hill on 151 going south, they don't pay any attention to people there. And with this going in, I don't see how they're going to get away from doing that as far as turning lanes or whatever. But it's going to make it worse. And I feel for the school because all the traffic that goes in there with the moms and dads that take their kids there, the school buses that come in there, it's just very hectic. And then with our church, the same way, going in and out. The other thing that I'm very concerned about, if they do this and they bring in beer, then the next thing they'll bring in, they'll put another store in and put liquor in. Don't like that. You know, if they go commercial, they can put anything in there they want. This is a very big acreage there, the 15 acres they're trying to get rezoned. And not only a service station, but it could be other things. We don't need that in our community. This is not something that will better our community. It's going to hurt it. It's going to really hurt it. But I ask you guys to look that over and please consider what the Walker County Planning Commission has voted for.
Thank you. There's 5 minutes and 14 seconds left.
Good evening, Chairwoman and Board of Commissioners. Thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Christy Casey, and I serve as the principal of the elementary school located directly next to this property. I am here tonight not only as an administrator, but as the person entrusted each day with the safety and well-being of our children. Every morning I stand at the front doors of our school and I greet the students as they arrive. I see small children step off the buses with backpacks nearly as big as they are. I see parents who entrust us with what matters the most to them. And I take that responsibility seriously because once those doors open, every child in our care becomes my responsibility. The proposal to rezone the adjacent property for a truck stop raises profound safety concerns. Our school day is carefully structured to protect our children, from arrival procedures to dismissal routes, supervised recess, and emergency plans, all thought about with children in mind. Introducing a commercial truck stop next door introduces a level of risk that cannot be fully mitigated. Increased heavy traffic, blind spots, and unfamiliar drivers significantly increase the danger to children who are still learning how to navigate our world safely. I think about our students during dismissal, when their energy is high because they're excited about going home, but their attention is low because they have focused all day. I think about recess, when the children are running and laughing and focused on being kids, and that we are next to a truck stop. It only takes one moment, one mistake, for a situation to become tragic. As a principal, I cannot accept additional risk to student safety that is both foreseeable and preventable. There are also serious health and learning concerns. Diesel fumes, constant engine noise, and overnight operations do not stop at a fence line. They impact the air quality, classroom instruction, and the sense of calm and security that every school should provide for students. Our teachers work tirelessly to create an environment where students can focus, feel safe, and thrive. A truck stop next door undermines that effort in ways that cannot be measured solely by traffic studies or zoning maps. Schools are intentionally placed away from high-intensity commercial activity for a reason. They are meant to be protected spaces, surrounded by environments that reinforce safety, stability, and care. Rezoning this land removes a critical buffer between our children and the industrial traffic, and once that buffer is gone, it is gone forever. I want to be clear, I am not here to make a statement against development or business, but our community benefits from responsible growth. But responsible growth also means recognizing when a proposed use is simply not appropriate for its location. A truck stop next to an elementary school is not compatible with the mission of education or the responsibility that we all hold to our children. As a school, we do everything within our power to keep students safe. Student safety is at the center of every decision that I make. Our procedures, our staffing, our planning, and our daily routines. But the truth is that the safety of children cannot rest on the school alone. The community as a whole holds that responsibility. And it is a responsibility that we all want to make sure we make the right decisions for. And decisions made in rooms like this one directly shape the environment our students grow up in. Zoning choices, traffic patterns, and land use either strengthen or weaken the protective circle around our school. This decision is one of those moments, and I ask you to stand with me, to stand with our families, and to stand with the children who depend on us to make thoughtful, protective choices. When we work together, we create a community where children are not just educated, but are truly safe and can thrive. I respectfully ask you to deny this rezoning request and to prioritize the safety, health, and the learning environment of our students. Thank you for your time.
Okay, that leaves 25 seconds for one person to speak. That's not, I was going to ask the board if you wanted to give 5 more minutes to this topic.
There's one more that was up before then. Can we grant him permission?
Yes.
Kevin?
You can have 5 minutes and 25 seconds. You're welcome. Just do it on your clock. Let that run out and do it.
Commissioners, Madam Chair, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I know we were short on time. My name is Kevin Richardson. I am a member of the Naomi community. I've been there for 28 years. I'm a lifelong resident of Walker County. I'm also a member of the Walker County School Board. Ms. Casey, thank you. I know I'm not supposed to address you directly, but thank you for your comments relating to the school and student safety. I'm speaking tonight as a citizen. I'm not representing the school board. I'm one of 5, but again, I'm speaking as a citizen. I have grave concerns with this zoning proposal there by Naomi Elementary. Looking at the plan, we look at that it is a crossroads community. In that crossroads community, it talks about limited development. When you look at this truck stop, the possibility of this truck stop coming in, rezoning 15.46 acres to this, if that takes place, we are opening Pandora's box. Once that happens, you could put anything commercial on that 15.46 acres. I fully expect, I was at the last meeting and I heard we're going to downsize this. We're not going to be open 24 hours. We're going to try to limit this to maybe more of a convenience store type thing. The unique part of that is there is not a convenience store that I've found in Walker County that is on 15 plus acres. Okay. Within a 4-mile radius of this property, there are 3 active convenience stores that I'm aware of. You've got Tucker's Grocery right there in Lafayette. They're on 136. They have 2.56 acres. More than half of that is unused. It's just land in the back. There's another store at the end of York Road right there, 1.25 acres. On the corner of 136 and Highway 27, there's another convenience store, 0.75 acres. There used to be a convenience store, for those that have been there a while, right at the end of 136 and 151, there was a little convenience store there, 0.35 acres. 15.46 is not, it's going to be more than a convenience store. Don't be fooled, okay? Please be vigilant, protect our community, protect our students. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. You good? Thank you for doing the clock. Anyone else want to speak on? No, we can't. Sorry. My bad. My bad. I do have to move on. Sorry. Not yet. We're going to vote after this. Yes. So the next item is 11.5, And this item has been withdrawn by the applicant, so we will not talk about that tonight.
We were told that we could say something without a decision being made because we're not the buyer.
On which property are you
On
speaking?
the, 151 property we were just discussing.
So we gave each side, the for and the opposer, 12 minutes, and we ran through that 12 minutes. So,
Well, we're the sellers.
oh, you came late?
No, we've been here waiting on them to get done with their turn.
Are you Miss Brown?
Yes.
Okay.
I had to call them up, they must not have heard you.
No, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry, Miss Brown. Please approach the podium. I apologize. I did not know you were in the crowd.
Hello, my name is Paul Guillory. I've been living in Fayette for about 20 years now. I'm all about growth and development, to be
Oh,
honest.
hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Are you
Sorry.
representing Miss Brown?
Yes, I'm one of the people with her, yes.
Okay. And Miss Brown, are you okay with him speaking for you? Because I thought you were speaking for yourself. I don't know where she went to. Where'd she go?
He lives with her.
Okay. That's fine. I just want to make sure we clarify who is speaking for whom. So, yeah, would you say your name one more time, please?
Paul Guillory.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to be quick and short about it.
Sure.
I understand that there's concerns about the children. And they just spoke about a few of the gas stations in the area. Now, one of them is Tucker's. It's right across the street from a church. They sell alcohol. I haven't seen any problem with that. But one thing that I can say is, if they put this gas station here, it's going to open up opportunities for people like me, people, my children, that's going to need jobs in the future. That's all that I'm saying. I don't have a problem with anybody in here. I just feel that this lady's done had this land for so long, and she's been taking care of it for so long. I don't see why is it so hard for her to just get this to pass. Because it's not just, not trying to hurt the community, but we're trying to do something for our children so they can have something. And I just hope that y'all can find a way to help us out. That's all I have to say. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I want to speak. Her daughter, Muffet Brown.
What was your name? I'm sorry.
Muffet Brown.
Okay, thank you.
There's a Rossville Elementary. It's less. It has a gas station. Mapco is less than 1 mile from their school. The Stone Creek Elementary has a gas station less than 0.8 miles from their school. What you do from one school or one gas station, you shouldn't let them get away with it and not let them have a gas station in Naomi. Now, I will say I have went to the buyer's gas stations he owns in Calhoun yesterday. They're nice, and they're not truck stops. He has told us that he is not putting a truck stop in. He said that is not going to be part of the comprehensive plan. Okay. So he also said that it's not going to be off of 136. It's going to be the entrance from 151. Okay. There's other things that he's willing to work with the community. He's let it be known that there's going to be a buffer between the elementary school and the gas station, which it is a gas station. He wants to create opportunities for local people. He wants to put a shopping mall in there on the side close to the church. Now, Walker County has lost residents since 2010. Walker County is the 37th largest county in Georgia. Okay. The jobs in Walker County, if you go on the Walker County jobs, there's only 200 and something jobs. Versus smaller communities like Whitfield County, Calhoun, and Rome, they have well over 1,000 jobs. And they're way smaller than Walker County. You have Rossville, you have Chickamauga, Noble, Rock Spring, Lafayette. There's a lot of counties in Walker County, but there's no jobs. The runoff issue, there's things put in place for that. The thing about selling alcohol, there's something called The people that ride around in the little trucks, they're code enforcement. They can write citations for things like that. Now, it is on, they would have to have a septic tank. The elementary school has a septic tank. The elementary school has tons of kids that go there. The buyer has said that he was going to put a buffer, meaning even an 8-foot tall fence, to separate and even possibly give the elementary school part of the land. Okay? To me, that is very gracious to spend this kind of money on a piece of property that's 15.4 acres. He wants to do what is best for the community while growth. And to me, I think that it would lower property tax. They would pay their own taxes. It does not have anything to do with increased expenditures for residents. And I will say that the gas pumps at other gas stations around are over 30 years old. I have bought gas at one of the gas stations, and it messed up my vehicle completely. I had to get a whole new vehicle. The next thing I want to say is my father bought that land back in the 70s for $20,000. The appreciation is a lot. Okay? If anybody in Walker County says if they have kids, that somebody wants to come and buy and put a gas station there, there would not be anybody that would be complaining that would benefit their family. And that's just common sense. The only people that would complain about a gas station is if they're financially stable. To me, Walker County needs a good gas station. To me, there's things that can be put in place. Red lights can be put in place. Alcohol doesn't have anything to do with the county. That's state regulated. And I went to the gas station. I went to their restaurant. It's a good restaurant. They sell pizza. They have good gas. They have reviews on their Google reviews, 5-star reviews. Some people saying they had the best diesel in town, which is an Exxon. And other people saying they had the best biscuits in town. Yeah, there's going to be hate from Tucker's because you got a biscuit lady there.
Ms. Brown, I need to really let you wrap it up, okay? Please.
Well, do you have any questions for me?
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Brown?
Not at this time.
Thanks for speaking up.
And like I said, my grandfather was DeForest Brown. He was a school bus driver. I come from a line of teachers. My father retired at Gordon Lee. He taught there for over 30 years. His name was Ronald Brown. He taught biology. If it was him, he would have done it. If it was Bunk Brown, he would have done it. If it was Todd Brown, they would have done it. They were all about entrepreneurship. Don't ask me. I know they were entrepreneurs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so we were on Joseph Hawkins. Item 11.6. Is anyone here with or for Mr. Hawkins himself? Hello.
Hi.
I'll read your petition and then I'll give you the floor. Joseph Hawkins requests a rezone from A1 agriculture to RA residential agriculture for property located at 1007 Kendrick Switch Road, Chickamauga, Georgia, 30707, tax map and parcel number 0-262-019. You have the floor.
Hello, I'm Sandra Powell, and I'm also a friend and close relative to Mr. Hawkins, and I'm also a real estate agent.
Okay.
He's wanting to rezone the property for financial reasons and trying to hopefully sell it. There is some opposition because the neighbors have had a lot of privacy due to this. It's a long length of, and I've got the parcel here where it's been resurveyed and everything, splitting up. If anyone wants to look at it.
Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Folks in the lobby, please hold down your chatter. Please take it outside if you need to continue your conversations. Thank you. Please continue.
Where did you want me to start at again? Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, well, you were at the parcel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but if anybody wants to take a look at this, I'd be glad to show it to you. But Mr. Hawkins, his family they owned a lot of farmland over there, and over the years, as the society knows, farms have dwindled down, and this is some of that land. His family also donated the land for the easement for Kendrick Switch Road. So the family's been in the community for a long time and tried to help with different things throughout the years. But for Mr. Hawkins, he just financially needs to sell part of his property.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
Yes, ma'am. So the property is currently 3 acres,
Yes, sir.
and what's he wanting to divide it into?
Well,
3
I've
1
got-
acre.
We want to divide that to make it 2.18 acres to sell.
So he's gonna sell 2 tracts off the 3 then?
No, just one.
Does he-
2.18 acres.
So he's keeping his house on,
So his house is on there?
Yeah.
on the part he's keeping.
Huh?
He's keeping the part with the house.
Yes, he wants to stay there. That's his family. That's their home place. So the original home place. He didn't want to get rid of it.
That's 3
It will
acres
stay in the family.
total.
Anything else from the board? Go ahead.
Remind me again, wants to sell how much?
2.18 acres.
And keep,
And he'll leave him 1.5.
well, it's 3 acres total, right?
It's a little over 3. 3.68.
3.68.
Yeah.
Okay. So he'd keep 1.5 then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the 2.18, he's dividing off just to sell
Yes, sir.
to somebody else?
Uh-huh. And that's the way it would look right there. That helps.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else from the board? Okay, thank you very much for speaking. Is there anyone else here in favor of Mr. Hawkins' request? All right, is there anyone here in opposition of Mr. Hawkins' request?
Hello, my name's Jeff Vaughn. I live at 961 Kendrick Switch Road. Our land connects to Mr. Hawkins. And I don't have a problem with them rezoning, but my main concern is that they rezone it residential. We have a water flow comes down behind our house, and we're concerned about water flow, what's going to divert the water. We're worried about it backing up on our property if they decide to build something on it, because it slopes down into the creek bed. And it's dry unless it rains a lot. And if it rains a lot, we get a lot of water flow. And if they build there and have to build up the land to put something on it, we're worried about the water backing up on our property. That's our biggest concern.
Okay.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Is there anyone else in opposition of Mr. Hawkins' request? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to 11.7, which is Sea Rock City. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of, hello? I'll read your request while you get ready.
Okay, perfect.
This is in favor of Rock City, yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Request a rezone from R1 residential to C1 commercial for property located at 0 Highway 157, Lookout Mountain, Georgia, 30750. Tax map and parcel number 0-044-001. You have the floor.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me speak. I'm Doug Chapin. I'm the president and CEO at Rock City Enterprises. So we've got a presentation that we went through, some version of it that should stay up. Jim, are we good? Perfect. Okay. But we should have some slides up here. But generally, who we are, so Rock City Enterprises, Sea Rock City Inc. We've been in Walker County for 93 years. So we have about 300 partners is what we call our employees. 223 of those are employed in Walker County. 131 of them are Georgia residents. Our mission as an organization is to create memories worth repeating. So that's kind of what guides everything that we do. So in Walker County on Lookout Mountain, kind of our business operations, Rock City, the Chanticleer Inn, our Starbucks on Lookout Mountain, and Grandview, the wedding and event center that is on the bluff. So, and kind of our purpose, what we want to do is kind of as an organization, I hope you've come and visited Rock City before, but we hope to share the beauty of Lookout Mountain and Walker County with visitors from all over the world. We have, about 600,000 visitors a year that come to Rock City. Next. So a little bit, our business by the numbers, I'll go quick through these if they stay up, but I'm going to just read because I have some notes. But generally, economic impact in the 3 Northwest Georgia counties, about 49.1 million. This is from a study that Georgia Tech completed for us on our economic impact for 2024. But in general, we support in that 3 county region about 468 jobs. So for every 3 jobs at Rock City, there's another job kind of in the region supported. And then for every dollar spent at Rock City, another 83 cents is spent kind of in our community. Next. Sorry, we're having the technical, but this is sort of our tax impact. I hope y'all can catch this. We can get some of these figures to you afterwards. But generally, local tax impact in Walker County, about $650,000 annually. State of Georgia, 532. Total impact, 1.2. You can see sort of that breakdown. Again, all of this is from that Georgia Tech study. Looking ahead to the next piece. So I bought the business from my parents and my sisters in 2022. So I'm a 4th generation family owner of Rock City. We've got 6th generation employees that work for us. Kind of what prompted me to want to buy the business is that we have this opportunity to see it through for another 93 years and keep building something that is pretty incredible. So we have worked on a long-term master plan with a group called PGAV that are kind of an internationally recognized destination design firm. The first phase of our project, and kind of in keeping with all of that, what we want to do at Rock City, what makes Rock City special is that there is only one Rock City. There are a lot of people in the attractions world that can do a lot of cool things. You can't make another Fat Man Squeeze or Lover's Leap. It only exists right there. It's what makes it so special. We want, as a garden, to kind of uncover and preserve the beautiful things about Lookout Mountain, about Walker County. And so that's what all of our long-term plans are about, is for Rock City to be Rock City. So the first phase is a $30 million capital investment. We've got a video that hopefully will play. We cut it down to give you all an idea. And the sound might get kind of funny. But this project here, our gondola project, starts at our currently we have 137 acres on the side and at the bottom of the mountain that is zoned commercial. It has been zoned commercial. We used to do our fall event, Blowing Springs Farm, there with a corn maze and a couple other things. This project would provide connection from the valley to Rock City. Some features of this that you'll see in the video, everything about the project is engineered above the canopy line. So when you think about things like a funicular railroad, like the incline railroad, this has less canopy disturbance than any other option of ways to get people up and down the mountain. And I'll get into a little bit of the pieces. We've got 2 other renderings here. If we go to the next. So this is the Blowing Springs Farm entrance. So like I said, our commercial property at the bottom where we had our fall attraction. This is the new gondola station that is themed after one of our Rock City barns. And you can see the gondola there in the back. On the next page, you can see our mountaintop entry. So relocating our ticketing and entry to actually where the original gatehouse for Rock City is pictured in the back right of that building, the roundhouse that opened in 1932. But the guests would come up and then enter Rock City there. So 2 things that really highlight like neat features of the county. It is kind of the pastoral agrarian setting with a Rock City barn, and then you end up on Lookout Mountain and a kind of enchanting, magical place. You can see here, this is the tax parcel that we are looking to have rezoned. And it is a 14-acre kind of funny strip of land. You can go to the next slide too. So at the Planning Commission, we went forward with kind of, you get an idea here, everything in yellow, which is to the west, but kind of the upper side of this picture, is our current commercially zoned property at Rock City. This piece of property is down on the lower side of the bluff. And the Planning Commission recommended the rezoning with the concession that we not do commercial development behind the 2 residences that property goes behind. So that is marked here on that map. But we can go to the next piece. So a couple quick facts here. our projections at this point, and there's a lot of pieces, we are here to get this rezoned because one of the poles for the gondola is on that piece of property. And so we need to get that rezoned to move forward with construction. This project is a $30 to $40 million project for us to advance on some of the architecture and engineering. It's an additional upfront large capital investment. So we're trying to make sure we get those things done first. But projected $900,000 of additional sales tax revenue, 20 new full-time jobs, and kind of an authentic, responsible design that highlights Rock City's history. I wanted to add a couple things. A lot of that was in what our original pieces, but we've heard from community members since we went public, which we expected. And so I just wanted to touch base on a couple of those responses. So first, traffic concerns. We mentioned in our meetings with the town of Lookout Mountain, this project on peak day would divert about 3,000 cars off Ox Highway. That's a small mountain road. So we are hoping that's a big benefit to the state's, it's TDOT and City of Chattanooga and GDOT maintained highway that goes up the mountain. But taking that burden off the road, it also reroutes a large number of drivers through Northwest Georgia, pushing them past businesses in Fort Oglethorpe. On the way to Lookout Mountain. We've got that traffic study ready. It is a 180-page document, which is why it is kind of Greek to go through it with people. But in short, the study said those roads remain, it solves some traffic problems, the roads remain within acceptable standards, and they had a couple solutions down the road of where entrances maybe should be located. But as we said before, we're a good ways out. Next concerns, there were some concerns by neighbors on the mountain about increased pedestrian traffic around Rock City with the gondola. The whole point of this attraction is to get people up the mountain and into Rock City. So all of our signage and landscaping is to drive people in those ways into our gates. It also, if you look kind of from above at our current commercial footprint, a large portion of our property that is zoned commercial is close to folks' homes, and we use that now as parking. So guests are parking closer to homes and moving. This moves all of those incoming guests away from current residential pieces. Concerns about the impact of the view. I know that for me, for a long time, this has been an idea that has been bubbling around. And that was my biggest concern. We sell tickets for 90 years with the tagline C7 States. We really care about the view. We hope in the video we've shown it is not ugly. It's not going to be a detriment to the view shed. Next. And then for some of our neighbors, there have been some objections that have just been about any changes whatsoever to Rock City. And we understand that. I love Rock City. I grew up in a house that's in the middle of Rock City. But for us to keep developing and growing as a business, for us to be sustainable for the next 93 years, we've got to be able to innovate. And we know there were other concerns brought up at the Planning Commission about that we have another request with the City of Lookout Mountain to amend a zoning ordinance. It was just a quick point that these are two totally separate requests. They're not kind of contingent on each other. So one other piece just about the hillside, because that was also a discussion. These are a couple pictures of what this property is that we are looking at rezoning. Here you can see the steep grade and bluff lines. If you go to the next page, this is a Google Earth image. You can see there the blue section. So it is largely two bluff lines on this section. It is currently zoned R1. Like in accordance with the comprehensive plan, it's not really possible to build houses on this property. In the comprehensive plan, that property is to be used for green space and outdoor recreation space. This allows us to utilize the property by going forward with this rezoning. So Hannah Claire is here as well.
Good afternoon. Hannah Claire Bogus. I'm with Chambliss Law, and I'll keep it really short because I know no one wants to hear from an attorney tonight. So here are some quotes that we have pulled from the comprehensive plan. The comprehensive plan is a joint plan with all of the municipalities. Obviously, it's the county, Walker County as a whole. And so not only does this development comply with the economic goals of the comprehensive plan, but it also complies with the opportunities and needs to address transportation, natural resources, and then the culture that Sea Rock City has created in the county. I also, if you'll allow me to approach, have a handout of the zoning ordinance's 12 considerations that a rezoning request needs to comply with. And you don't want to hear me drone on, so we've written those out if the board would like to review those.
Or you can give them out. Your time is just about up. Thank you. I do have a question, though. Did I hear somewhere that it's a 3-year project?
Yes. So if we hit go on this now, we'd be another 6 to 9 months of architecture planning from here. And then at the earliest, we may be breaking ground in January of 27, and it would be an 18-month to 2-year project. So we are very, very early in those pieces. So there is a lot of stuff that we are on the front end of.
And one other question I had, the Chickamauga Military National Park is right below that. How do you plan to go over that?
So we, and Hannah Claire can speak to this, we have an aerial easement from the original deed to that piece of property. When Garnet Carter, who started Rock City, gave it to the Lookout Mountain Park, he maintained an aerial deed for Rock City to go over that property.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions for the?
Nope, that answers my question. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, is there anyone else in favor of Sea Rock City expansion? Oh yeah, we have, I'm sorry, they have exhausted their time. Is there anyone that is in opposition of Sea Rock City? Please come forward. And again, your group will have 12 minutes total.
Thank you. My name is Ellie Hill. I'm here on behalf of the Nichols who live on Patton Road, adjoining Rock City. We were at the Planning Commission last month. They wanted to be here today, but their son's having emergency surgery, so they've asked me to come and speak on their behalf. A portion of the 14-acre tract to be rezoned from R1 to C1 is located immediately behind their home on the bluff, as well as another residential home on the bluff. I'm going to show each of you, if I can.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a handout I've prepared showing you the area from the assessor's map. The area noted in green is Blowing Springs Farm, where the gondola is proposed to take off from. And then I've drawn an approximate location of a path that would run across the Rock City property, the Chickamauga National Park property, to the town of Lookout Mountain, where the gondola would exit on Rock City property. The area shown in blue is the 14-acre proposed to be rezoned to C1. And you can see that the area where the gondola is located occupies just a very small piece of that 14 acres. I've drawn in gray where the Planning Commission recommended there be a buffer, or where the C1 zone stop, and the area south or to the bottom of that gray line was conditionally suggested by the Planning Commission that remain R1. My clients are requesting that line be moved to where I've drawn in red. And that red line there is located, you can see where there's a star. The star is where the park is, where we all walk the trails of Rock City. And so there are 2 parcels south of the star. One contains an old home where Mr. Chapin used to live, and the other a tennis court there. And then there's the 2 residential properties I mentioned to you earlier. So if you're inclined to grant the rezoning, we're asking that line, the buffer between the R1 and the C1, be moved back. These homes where our client lives is a 100-year-old home located again to the south beyond the gray line. They're marked on the left side of the blue parcel there.
All right.
Rock City indicated that it wants to rezone this area as part of Phase 1 for a master plan. with regards to the area marked in blue, that is a 14-acre parcel. Rock City has indicated that it wants to place one 20 by 20 pole on this property. The adjacent tract with the star, where the trails are located, is approximately 4 to 5 acres by comparison. So I would ask you, why would the area south of the red line, where we're asking for it to remain residential, be necessary at this time for the gondola pole as proposed by Rock City Enterprises? We could keep this area residential and use it for green space and conservation as intended by the Walker County Comprehensive Plan. It's suitable for environmental protection. It has scenic views and steep slopes. If it's not going to be used in the commercial enterprise, let's keep it R1 and allow it to be suitable for conservation. Properties in this area, as you all know, have a beautiful view shed. Many people buy homes in this area because of the view. And the view would be greatly diminished if there were commercial activities in the backyards of these residential properties. There's concern of noise and traffic in the backyards and adjacent area, and concerns that Rock City Enterprises would expand their commercial enterprises if the entire 14 acres is rezoned. We believe that keeping the existing zoning south of the red line in the R1 would still retain an economic use. The beauty of Lookout Mountain in this area attracts visitors to the mountain. It's a focal point of the community of Lookout Mountain, Georgia, as well as those in the valley below. We are concerned that the rezoning would open the floodgates to more commercial enterprise within this 14-acre parcel. And I want to point out as well that in the Planning Commission conditional notes on the agenda today, Commissioner Stan Porter asked why Rock City did not ask for a rezone on just the part of the property that the gondola would be placed on. In response, Mr. Chapin said, "I just asked for the whole parcel." So we've not been told why 14 acres need to be rezoned for a 20 by 20 post. In the application for the rezoning, Rock City Enterprises stated that the basis for the request was better utilization to support the existing business both in the short and long term. That raises concerns for our client and others regarding future potential commercial enterprise in this area without knowing what that is and what the intended use may be. I know there's a lot of people that want to speak, so I'm just reminding you all, our request is that you not rezone, but if you are considering rezoning to commercial, that the space be limited to north of the red line on the handout I gave you all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
My name is Jack Webb. I've been asked also by the Nichols family to make a few comments on their behalf. I've been a real estate agent for 39 years, a little over 39 years, a real estate broker, Chattanooga, Lookout Mountain in North Georgia. I've been a resident of Lookout Mountain all my life. Other than going away to college, so I'm a lifelong resident of the mountain. I sold a very nice home to the Nichols family 10 years ago, within a month of 10 years ago. The amazing views, the privacy, and the peaceful serenity of the home that they own on the brow, or you could call it the bluff, along Patton Road, are the most important amenities of that location. Their home and property are zoned R1, and when they bought it, and for decades before that, just past the bluff line down below that, the property owned by Rock City has been pointed out is also zoned R1 residential. It's been zoned R1 residential for many years. The homeowners in that area had no idea that at some point the request might come along for it to be rezoned C1 commercial. As Attorney Ellie Hill said, there's no reason for, when they need less than an acre to put that one pole for a gondola over on the other end of the property where the star is, for them to come all the way around the corner there and have to acquire all that property and rezone it to C1 commercial. Rock City has stated they currently have over 500,000 visitors per year.
and that the goal is to increase that number of visitors in the future. If this portion of the 14-acre tract below and near where these homes are, not just below there, but even off to the side, is rezoned C1 commercial, it would be very detrimental to the property values of the homes in that area. Not only that, but it would also tremendously detract from the serenity, the privacy, the noise, the view shed, as Attorney Ellie Hill mentioned. Right now, Rock City does a great job, and this is a compliment to them, seriously. Lover's Leap has one of the most gorgeous views of anywhere in the tri-state area. And they claim 7 states and all that as far as the view shed. The views right around the corner from these homes is almost identical to Lover's Leap. It is incredible. It is amazing. It is private. It is serene. It's just hard to beat anywhere. And so now if this were the property loan, where the back of their property is right on the bluff, right now where it's also zoned R1 commercial, if that becomes C1 commercial, it's a game changer. And not just where the property line, but anywhere near where those homes are. If you have over 500,000 people that could potentially come around there, and Mr. Chapin showed a view, kind of an air view of the rock escarpment along the bluff there that's very steep, okay? I'm going to give you one example, and this is not scare tactics, and it's not to start a rumor that Rock City's going to do this, but it's an example that you can Google. If you've ever been to the Grand Canyon, there's a place out there called the Skywalk, and it was built right off of the rock escarpment of a very steep, it's like a 3,000 to 4,000 foot drop off. So the point is, I'm not starting a rumor that Rock City is getting ready to do that. They're not. My point is, if any homes near there, right on the edge of their bluff line, right below there, if it's rezoned C1 commercial and they can come all the way along that bluff or that escarpment, who knows? And I'm not blaming Doug. They are in the business of, as he used the word, innovate. They are wanting to innovate for the future. I get it. I understand that. With them wanting to innovate and not knowing what the future holds, for those homeowners and the surrounding area on that end of that 14-acre tract and that blue line there's no reason for them to need to rezone that to C1 commercial. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Charlie Schellberg. I'll try to keep it real brief because of the time constraints. I would note, however, that a year ago, Rock City had previously filed a rezoning proposal for the same 14-acre parcel. At that time, they indicated that the proposed purpose or use was a walkway. When they refiled a couple months ago, they omitted that and just said for general commercial purposes or something like that. But it sort of suggests what they have in mind. My wife and I live on the bluff, a couple of houses down from the dividing line that Mr. Chapin has talked about. I don't need to tell you about the nature of Lookout Mountain. If you permit them to rezone those 14 acres, which runs along the backyards of some of our neighbors, you're going to be pulling in tourist crowds on or near our homes. We strongly encourage you to disapprove this rezoning request because it's inconsistent with the unique and historic character of Lookout Mountain. If you do not entirely disapprove, you should at least limit the rezoning to the portion of the 14 acres that's at the northern end of the amusement park where the gondola is proposed to be located. At least that would provide some kind of buffer. What Mr. Chapin has proposed is going to end at the corner of our neighbor Ann Gardner's backyard. Thank you.
Does the board want to allow any additional comment time?
Can we give them 5 more minutes like we did the other one?
Sure.
Yes, and I would like to ask if it's rhetorical on the same subject. But if it's some new info, we definitely want to hear it. But I think we've got the
neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, we're from the bottom of the mountain.
My name's Martina Brown, and we live in Woodburn Station and Idle Rock in the Blowing Springs area. We have a really big concern with the fact that the traffic on 193 or even Chattanooga Valley Road. We're a very quiet little neighborhood. I've been there since it was built, and up until recently, I bet most of you didn't even know we existed. That's how quiet and wonderful of a little neighborhood we are. We have kids that ride their bicycles up and down Morris Drive, Pop Shop in Woodburn Station. And if they're going to bring that many cars, they're going to come through my neighborhood. And just as the lady said with the school zone, there's going to be an accident happening. We already have people who drive too fast down Chattanooga Valley Road. We've had too many animals. We've had kids hit on bicycles. So this kind of traffic in a neighborhood like this is going to be detrimental all around. The noise, the light. Is there going to be a buffer zone? What about the fact that the majority of their parking lot is in a flood zone? Where's all that water going to go? Is it going to come over into my neighborhood, into the neighborhoods around us, and flood our streets so we can't get in and out, but to drive all the way down to Georgia 2 to be able to get out of our neighborhood? It floods bad there. If you've ever been around the area, you'll know. And they're going to have to build that parking lot up or cars could get flooded. And where's the water going to go? These are questions that we have and questions that we're concerned about. We all know that it was a corn maze before, and it had its negatives for our neighborhood. And Rock City was wonderful when we voiced some of those neighborhoods to handle it. But we also feel that they could have at least come to us and asked us what we thought. And if nothing else, we want a buffer, a big buffer. And we want the county to be able to say, people aren't going to come through your neighborhood, and figure out how to keep people from driving through a quiet neighborhood, that the road's not really wide, to keep traffic coming through there. And for safety, if nothing else, I just don't see it. People almost get hit all the time on 193 trying to pull out our neighborhood, and even on Chattanooga Valley Road, because how fast the people drive down 193 and Chattanooga Valley Road. Those are some of our concerns, and I would say just about every single person in all three of these areas do not want you to pass this zoning. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left.
Yes, my name is George Caudle. I live at 1218 Fleetwood Drive, which is across the street from the Chanticleer. I'm to the north end of where Rock City is located now. And I appreciate the time y'all have taken to listen to us and to me. I want you to be aware that about 15 years ago, the city of Lookout Mountain was putting together a draft comprehensive plan, and it did a number of charrettes, little group meetings where people could talk about what they wanted, their vision for the city. And where they recognized that Rock City was a good corporate citizen, the consensus of those charrettes, those meetings, and of the comprehensive plan was that the physical plant, the physical growth of Rock City should be limited so that it does not impact the residential areas of the city. And I realize that this property we're talking about is not inside the city limits, but by converting this property from residential to C1 commercial, it does impact the residential areas of the city. And that's what I'm concerned about. And I wanted the commissioners to be aware that that was the consensus of residents of the city of Lookout Mountain. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to use the rest of the time in opposition? Okay. I have one question for Doug, if you don't mind. Your traffic study that you mentioned,
Yes, ma'am.
was that only on Ox Highway, or did it include 193 in Chattanooga Valley?
So Kimley Horn studied all incoming traffic to Rock City, that if we rerouted that traffic, I believe they used about a 90% reroute, that there were some portion of guests that still would elect to drive up Lookout Mountain because they wouldn't want to ride, that they would, so it was all of our incoming traffic. So it took everything from 30% of our visitors are coming from Atlanta. So it took everything from I-75 through all those interstates, like all incoming traffic. So yes, it accounted for all those roads.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is the impact that all that traffic is now going to be on 193 and on Chattanooga Valley. So I just wondered if it talked about the that side of it, like it's.
Yes, the study identified a couple intersections and showed that they were within levels of service that worked and what would need to happen. It essentially had the proposals for, hey, here's how GDOT would accommodate turning traffic. So right now, 197 is a much larger road than Ox Highway, and so it's a redirect of the traffic that's currently on Ox Highway and through the city center of St. Elmo, and so that in short, the roads could handle that capacity.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Okay, we'll move on to the last.
Something real quick.
Well, you had 1 minute, yeah.
Yeah. When he says on Compay San Elmo, I don't know if y'all been through there. It's a small 2-lane road. There's no way to pass anybody, and the speed limit's 25. So I don't know how in the world they're gonna handle the traffic if they don't go up the mountain. And I know the mountain's bad as far as traffic, but they're looking at really increasing their tourism if this is just part of their plan. So just so
Thank
you know.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on then to the last item in the planning and zoning public hearing section, which is 11.8. And this is Linda Jones, and I invite the Jones family or a representative to come to the podium while I read the petition. It's a request to rezone from A1 agriculture to RA residential agriculture for property located at 1142 Villanelle Mill Creek Road, Lafayette, Georgia, 30728. Tax map and parcel number 0-579-008A. Welcome.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, so just that, we have 5 1/4 acres.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's Eric Dale. This is my mother, Linda Jones.
Okay.
But my mom owns 5 1/4 acres on the lot there that you listed. We're requesting to have it rezoned RA, mainly to build, well, solely to build a secondary home on the property. We'd like to build my mother a house on the existing property, and we already have a single family home on the property.
Okay. Does the board have any questions for them? Nope.
So you're gonna rezone to RA. Are you gonna resurvey the property so you have 2 deeds there?
Well, we got asked that question during the planning meeting too. We do not have to do that. No, we're fine with keeping it under a single deed.
A single deed with 2 residential homes.
Yeah, with 2 residential homes on it. She's my mother's retired. She's a widow. My family, she lives in a 2,500 square foot house on the property.
Oh, I fixed her roof one time.
Yeah. So you're familiar with that.
See how hard it is to get help? I don't want to here.
But yeah, I'm married with 2 children. Go to school here in Walker County, and wife teaches here. We've recently moved back. This is my home. Graduated from Lafayette High, so we just we're moving my family into her home, buying it from her, and hopefully, if allowed, we'll build her a house next door. So that's the plan.
All right. Anything else?
Can I ask a question to John? John, what is
John?
is there? How many can go on that 5 acres? What is that?
RA is tracks 1 to 10 acres. So you have to have at least a 1 acre parcel to build a dwelling.
Okay.
Approval through environmental health as well.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. Is there anyone else in favor of the Joneses' request? Is there anyone in opposition of the Joneses' request? Okay, seeing none, I'll remind everybody that we move the opportunity for the board to vote on all these items up to sooner in the meeting, which is now. But first, I want to ask the board if they'd like to have a 5-minute recess, or you want to continue on. What do you
Gene needs to take one, yeah.
We need okay, we're going to take a 5-minute recess. We are in recess. I need to stretch my legs anyway. Yes, sir. Which one? For Rock City? Right now? You want me to have, I can't talk.
Yeah.
What's he want? Ask him what
She's
he
gonna
wants.
tell him to
Ask
sit
him what
down.
he
He'll
wants and
talk
tell
all
me.
night.
On
She's gonna
what?
tell Jimmy to sit down. He'll talk all night.
All right, we gotta start back up, guys and gals. Am I doing that, Mark? Mark, do you want me to call John or no?
If he needs to explain anything,
Okay.
we will.
All right. Okay. Sorry. We are back in session. Thank you for the little break. All right. We are at the point of where the board will now vote on each of these items under the planning and zoning petitions. So we'll take them one at a time. Yes. 14.8. That is G&W Metalworks. We heard them explain to us what they had planned to do, so it is up for the board to make a motion. May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to deny, and I'll explain that in discussion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, let's move into discussion.
Okay, this property is in a A1 zone, which requires 5 acres. It's actually 4.56 now. In the comprehensive use plan, it recommends recreational activities and open space preservation. We have allowed some RA in these areas in the past because of family situations where we're allowing families to live on the property. But in this particular case, this is kind of being done as a development, and that is my reason for denying it.
Any other discussion?
I just seconded Brian's motion because I'm all for helping family if that's what they're doing. But I mean, if you're gonna subdivide it to make money, check that before you buy it.
All right, are we ready for a vote then? Okay, all in favor to deny this request, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, this motion passed and the item has been denied by the board. We'll move to the second item, which is Mr. Lemming, Ralph Paul Lemming. What is the pleasure of the board on this item?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion needed? All in favor?
Again, this is a case where Mr. Lemming's niece wanted to move back on the family farm, so we recommended that.
It's family.
Then all in favor of approving this, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? It passes as approved. The next item is Mr. Guthrie. What is the pleasure of the board on this item?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Same case.
All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, this one is also approved. The next one is Miss Joan Brown. What is the pleasure of the board on this one?
I want to make a motion to table this for up to 60 days to the April meeting if needed, to get some more facts, because I'm under the assumption that, or the understanding there was some provisions made at the Planning and Zoning Committee, at the meeting, at the Planning and Zoning meeting, and I don't have I need official documentation if those are going to be adopted and signed, sealed with the stipulations. So I would make a motion to table this for at least 2 months to the April meeting. If we can handle it in March, we can put it on that agenda then. But I need some official documentation that I want to see stipulations if they are bringing that to see, so that we can see what we're looking at.
Is there a second motion to that?
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor to table this until the April meeting with the understanding that we might do it and have it in March if it's all ready for us to
But
review?
that gives us some time.
Yes, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, this item is tabled no later than the April meeting. And the next item was withdrawn by the applicant, so we are not hearing that today. The next item is Joseph Hawkins' request. What is the pleasure of the board with this one?
I'm going to make a motion that we approve, understanding that it is a kind of a hardship with the gentleman that's trying to stay in his home and sell part of it. However, I want to, I do want to speak up and have Mr. Persley address, the concerns of stormwater and those things. That, John, if you don't mind, just real quick, just letting them know that there are regulations and rules in place to handle that so that it's.
I'll second his motion so we can discuss.
Okay. And
Yes, sir. So regarding the stormwater, there is rules and regulations and laws to prevent damages to property owners runoff. We will ensure if they do permit that. And environmental health will have to approve the septic system as well. And that design does come with the watershed, water volume as well. So we will address those items if they come forth.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Yes, sir.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor to approve this petition, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
Thank you. It does pass as approved. Then we are moving on to Sea Rock City's request. What is the pleasure of the board for this request?
I'm making a motion to approve with the recommendations set forth by the Planning and Zoning Committee.
I'll second his motion. John, would you come up here and explain those conditions?
Let's say we're officially in discussion then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so the conditions that the planning board with the motion of Stan Porter was to not allow them to develop past the existing property line on the mountain of Sea Rock City. So they cannot put any attractions or themes past the southern property line that currently exist on their property.
Can I ask a question? I mean, you've looked at it a little bit deeper, and I know I've pulled up some views. That portion that would be below houses is like a 200-foot bluff, right? The ground level, or
Yeah, I don't have the exact number,
Yeah.
with the footage, but from what I had pulled and we looked at, within 145 horizontal feet to the east, it drops off roughly 200 feet right there. Like I said, that's not exact numbers, but it's fairly close. So there's a bluff
Big
right
bluff.
there. Well, that was part of the conversation and discussion at the planning board. The property owners and their representatives were worried about stragglers walking through the backyards. And so that was part of the motion. That was addressed there as well. There is a bluff. You're not just going to walk into someone's backyard per se, but the recommendations to this board was to put the criteria in place that they cannot develop or put anything past that property, their existing property line, going to the south.
So can I ask one more question? If we, with the approval of the commercial and the comprehensive plan and commercial light use is supposed to be for recreational trails, if they did have something, a walking trail in that area, if they have a way to get down the bluff, is that? Yes.
Well, the condition would be they put nothing.
No, I'm talking about inside the other, under.
North of that line.
Oh,
North
yes,
of that
sir.
line.
Yes, sir.
They
That
can
is,
put a
that is
walking
correct.
trail. They're not going past the line that's set per the planning and zoning, but on the other portion of that 14, if they had a walking trail.
Per the planning board's recommendation, they did not put any stipulations on the north property, only from the southern property line south. I believe it's roughly 2.69 acres that I had measured out. It might be a little more, a little less. That's just what I measured out on the map. So that portion, the southern portion that is where their existing property line is, they cannot put anything past that. But north of that property line, then yes, if they wanted walking trails and whatnot, they would be allowed per the recommendation.
The property that this potential rezone borders north of that line is, and to the west side of it is all Rock City property, correct?
That is correct.
And
All the
that-
way over to Ox Highway.
Yes, and that property is already zoned C1, correct?
No, that property, that whole 14-acre parcel is currently zoned R1. I
No,
believe.
the
he's talking
property
about
that adjoins. In other words, the
that
Rock
touches
City property that it touches it already.
It's on
commercial, right?
C1, I think it's on.
Yeah, it varies on the mountain right there, but yes, you are correct. From my knowledge, I'd have to look into it to confirm
I
it.
did
But
look that
I
up.
believe,
That is what I saw.
Yes, sir.
So everything on the west side of this proposed rezone.
Oh,
except-
yes, sir, up on the, yeah, you are
Yes,
correct.
it
Yes,
is
sir. I
already
thought you were
zoned.
talking about the other property, going down towards the maze, but no, sir, you are correct.
And everything to the east, down the mountain to, all the way to the old Chattanooga Valley Road, or not, it's called Chattanooga Valley Road, across to where the former Corn Maze was, is all commercial.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the corn maze,
So
the corn
this is
maze
the only
itself,
piece that Rock City owns that was not commercial.
that Rock City owns, that's correct. The corn maze, at the bottom of the mountain is currently zoned commercial as well.
Okay, okay.
Go ahead, you go right ahead.
So, my big concern is the traffic, because I don't know that area that well. I live an hour from Rock City, and I still live in Walker County. I live probably the furthest person away from it. So I don't go there a lot. I have been there. I don't know these roads that well. It's not in my district. But the plan for the bottom of the mountain is not anywhere complete yet, correct?
No, sir, I think it's a concept plan. Right now, Doug could speak on that more, but we've not seen anything but a concept of, as you guys as well. But to have parking down there, and like he said, when we looked at it with the traffic study, they're still going to have a majority of the traffic going up the mountain as well. I don't know if majority is the right word, but you're still going to have travel. Portion of the traffic going up the mountain still. So I think I had asked him once on a peak day what this is going to take off the flow off of the mountain. I think it was 3,000 cars roughly. But that's not an exact number because people, I think that's the visitors they have, but I don't know what portion would still go up the mountain. I can't speak on that. I'm not an expert in Rock City.
Well, I want to add, if approved, I want to make sure that the county, yourself and our road superintendent, are very involved with the routing of traffic onto this property.
Yeah, absolutely. I think signage would be a big deal when people are coming in from Alice State. I think the signage would route them in the right direction. And, you know, the young lady mentioned about traffic into her neighborhood. There is absolutely no way you can ever stop someone from traveling down a road and making a U-turn. That's just impossible, but you can put things into place to try to deter that as much as you can. That those are county roads, and if someone chooses to go down them, the best thing we can do, and we can absolutely work with our road department to put signage in place and try to direct them in the right direction.
I would like to just make a statement on this. When all this came out and brought to us and we got it, and I did reach out to Mr. Chapin, and because I've been on the phone for the last week and emails and phone calls with all the citizens and the concerns. I have already reached out to the state rep and trying to get meetings with GDOT. These are going to be months of discussions to decide what they're going to do and how they're going to do. But Mr. Chapman has assured me that as soon as they have some information, we are going to have public meetings in Flintstone and on the mountain. He will have all the public meetings, get your input. He wants to share. We can't have them now because they have a rendering of what they want to do. Okay, when the design comes and the meetings with GDOT and all the traffic studies or this traffic study is complete, that's got to now be turned over to with GDOT and them to figure this out. And once all that is done, we will have public meetings. We will notify everyone that, hey, you can come give your opinion, see what's going on. But he has no definite information to share. That's why there's not been any public meetings right now down in Flintstone. He did have one on top of the mountain with the town of Lookout, but that was with the town. But for the county, as far as down, so this rezone has he could do whatever he wants to because he already has commercial property in Flintstone by the corn maze. Now, I understand y'all's concerns with the flood zones, but when he does something in a commercial zone property, he still has to abide by all the planning and zoning and codes that is set forth with stormwater, the runoff, all that will have to be addressed. But once he gets their design, which could be 6, 8, 10 months, I mean, who knows? Because I'm in construction, I watch a lot of these projects get designed on buildings and it takes months. But once he gets some information, we will have meetings and I will be in attendance. He will be in attendance. Y'all can reach out to me, but I don't have any other information than what y'all have seen. But he has ensured we will have public meetings and get input so that you know what's coming. But yes, we are going to try to divert all traffic. So the 3,000 cars and the study I've kind of glanced over because it is kind of Greek to me. I don't look at traffic studies all the time. So 30% of those 3,000 possibly in a day's time, 12-hour period, would possibly be coming through Fort Oglethorpe, down Highway 2, down 193. Another percentage is coming from the north through St. Elmo. The other percentage is going up Ox Highway. So it is diverting and spreading out the traffic. So not 3,000 cars coming down 193 by Woodsburn Station. And I understand because I live about 5.5 miles from where you live, just south of you. So I understand your concern, but when I found out about it, I did reach out to the state rep going, hey, can you get us some meetings with GDOT? Because it takes time for them to plan it. And the biggest concern of mine was the traffic and how that was going to be handled, for sure. But there's no guarantee. I mean, nobody knows. He's got to come up with his plan, then GDOT's got to say, okay, this is what's got to happen. But I know he would like to take all that traffic, if they're coming out of St. Elmo, and down the old Chattanooga Valley Road into the Corn Maze area, and possibly not past that, but hopefully he's going to have an entrance on to 193. But that's up to GDOT. I don't get to make those decisions, but this is in the planning stages. And from what I've talked to a lot of residents in the last couple of days too, that he does want to be a good partner. He's not trying to blindfold anybody. I mean, he's got to get information to be able to share it with you. So.
Yeah, and once again, on the stormwater stuff, runoff, I understand people's concern. It can be a major nuisance, but we will do everything to abide by the state regs and as far as the county regs as well, to ensure that neighboring properties do not have a burden on them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, John.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Does the board have any other comments in discussion? All right, we have a motion to approve. We have a second to approve. If there's no other no other discussions, we'll take a vote.
The motion to approve us
With
the
conditions.
concessions at the plant. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So with the conditions as stated,
Yes, ma'am.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, it is passed. It is approved with conditions. And the last item is Linda Jones. What is the pleasure of the board for this request?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there discussion from the board?
Yes, ma'am. This is similar to the other two that we approved. It is a family thing where they're trying to own the property, but it's also in the comprehensive plan allowed in this area. It's rural residential area, recommending lot sizes 1 to 5 acres. So I recommend to approve it on that.
Then all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, this one is approved also. Now I'm going to, point of order, yes, please. I was going to call for a recess anyway,
Okay.
so I'm going to take one more break. So we're going to go to recess for 5 minutes only.
I'm going to.
Okay, sorry. Our recess is about to end, so good deal. All right. Make sure they're.
Okay, yeah, just give me a call. I'll come up there.
Okay, we are out of recess and back in regular session. Thank y'all. All right, we are at the public comment section. This is where the general public can speak about any topic that they'd like to. So who would like to speak first? Everybody has 5 minutes to speak. Please take your conversations outside. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. My name's Randy Pittman, and I've got a couple comments, but my first comment, I'll be representing the Walker County Historic Preservation Commission. Excuse my voice. Back in July of 2022, the Walker County Historic Preservation attended the Board of Commissioners meeting while Shannon Whitfield was the chairman. Once the board come into existence, they nominated some people to head up the Walker County Historic Preservation Commission. And once that happened, we started touring some of our historic buildings in Walker County. One of them being the Walker County Courthouse. I organized a tour through Sheriff Wilson. Commissioner Hart joined us. While the Walker County Historic Preservation Commission has no authority inside the building, we also worked with the board to get the outside repaired, and it looks beautiful compared to what it did just a couple years ago. Thank you for that hard work. While we toured the inside of this facility, our historic courthouse, I was appalled by the conditions that we send our county employees in to work every day. I have been safety manager at a couple places. OSHA would have shut me down. And I'm proud that y'all are making a move to work on the inside of that courthouse. Once we come together, I got messages with people that worked inside the courthouse said, y'all got to get inside this courthouse. Look at the inside of this courthouse. I've got pictures that from 2022 that look like what they just presented to y'all. Inside the courthouse looks like it's a shame. So thank you. Now I'll get up the soapbox. Oop. So last year we, while I was involved in the Walker County Chamber of Commerce Leadership Group, we started our annual project for Ridgeland High School Dress for Success. I'm proud to announce that we are kicking off our second annual Dress for Success project for the class of 2026 at Ridgeland High School. Sponsor graduating senior of Ridgeland High School. You can send a cash or check to 2478 Happy Valley Road, Rossville, Georgia, 30741. The deadline is April 15th, tax day, so it is tax deductible. Or you can reach out to me. I'll be glad to come pick up your cash, your check. We'll have some Facebook posts. We're still working out, tweaking some details, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Who else would like to address the board? Please come forward. No one else? All right, well, we'll move on then. We are now going into the consent agenda section. There are 2 items in this consent agenda section that the board has had time to review. And so I'm going to make a motion that both of these items get approved. And may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion about either of these items? All right, we will take a vote then. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Thank you very much. Both items are approved. Now we move on to the rest of our new business, which is 14.1. The resolution R-014-26 to award a contract to Southern Clinical Services to establish a health and wellness clinic for Walker County employees. I know a lot of people probably are aware that we are currently without coverage because of the argument that's going on between CHI and Cigna. So our employees have no coverage right now. There is emergency concessions in place in case someone needs coverage, but it's a scary time for everybody. They also have always complained about the CHI clinic that we are to go to. So that's what prompted this review by the panel that we chose. So it was a panel of employees that made a decision based on lots of criteria in the RFP. Our employee survey is what brought it up to our attention. So our own employees asked us to look at this. So I'll leave it there. May I have a motion from the board, please?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Just a question.
Yes.
So in the resolution, we're taking $30,000 out of the general fund for this year for that. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And then next year, there'll be a line item added to our budget for this year.
Yes, sir. That's correct. Yes, please add.
The current one will just be increased. There's already one.
The current.
We pay CHI for the 160,000 per year.
Okay.
For the health clinic usage.
Okay.
So that line item will be adjusted
Yes.
to meet what we
So
need.
it's not actually, as this reads, this 30,000, we got a place to get it from in our current budget, you're saying that we're not spending that money.
We need to go $30,000 more than we have currently.
Okay. Okay. So that 30,000 is just to make the rest of that work then. Okay. I see.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? It is so passed that we are going to have a clinic. The next one is 14.2, Resolution R-015-26 to authorize the application and allocation of funds for 2026 to 2029 Transportation Improvement Plan projects through the Chattanooga-Hamilton County, North Georgia Metropolitan Planning Organization. Joe, can you come up and speak real quick about this so that people can understand what this is? Short version is MPO, and it's very valuable to belong to this, so go for it.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'll try to be as brief as possible and explain this and not be super confusing. But the northern portion of Walker County is in the Chattanooga-Hamilton County, North Georgia MPO. It's the Metropolitan Planning Organization that handles traffic infrastructure that federal funds flow through. The MPO has about $12 million in unprogrammed funds in their 2026 through 2029 Transportation Improvement Plan, specifically for for North Georgia, and they recently put out a call for projects to try and program that. So what we're doing tonight is asking the board for approval to actually submit an application in hopes of receiving some of those funds and then approval from the board to match. It's a 20% match if we're awarded any of the funds for the projects that we're putting forth. The projects that are on the agenda with 3 schools in about a 1.5 mile stretch of Happy Valley Road and over 750 homes in that area, the traffic issues that are there right now, and the fact that it's really impossible for pedestrians to walk in that area. We've worked with CTI to come up with a plan that would really alleviate some of the issues that are there with the existing roadway by adding some turn lanes, some decel lanes, and also a 5-foot sidewalk. Phase 1 of the project, we broke it into 3 different phases in case we don't want to do all or nothing with the MPO. But phase 1 would go from Turner Ridge Road there at Rossville Middle School down Happy Valley Road to Battlefield Parkway in front of Ridgeland High School. Phase 2 then would go across Battlefield Parkway, there where all the new housing is at the Hawks Ridge development, take the sidewalks and decel lanes, turn lanes down to Salem Road in front of Stone Creek Elementary School. And then phase 3 would do a little bit of road widening just to make Salem Road a little bit safer from Stone Creek Elementary to Adventure Acres. And there would also be a 5-foot sidewalk as well from that area. We did also include a 4th project. We had to do some value engineering on the Battlefield Connector Trail due to a culvert that needed to be replaced. So the section of the Battlefield Connector Trail that went down Osborne Street was was removed from what we're working on right now. CTI says for about 250,000, we could finish that and we wouldn't have to share the road on Osborne Street, not Osborne Road. This is Osborne Street, the small section there. So if approved by the MPO again, these are 4-year projects, so the funding would be spread out over 4 years. So we wouldn't be committing our match like tomorrow. It would be in 2026, there would be some in 2027, some in 28, and some in 29. We can use SPLOST and T-SPLOST funding for this as well, and there might be some other funding sources that we can tap into as well. Again, no money would be spent today. There's no guarantee from the MPO that they will select one or any of these projects, but what you're being asked to do is give us the opportunity to try to go after some of these funds, and then if we receive them, that you all will supply the match.
Do I have a motion for this?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Anybody got any
Yeah,
questions?
just one. So if you add all these up, it's about 13.4 million. So just for full disclosure, our 20% of that would be about 2.9 million.
Correct.
But you said we could take that out of T-SPLOST and SPLOST dollars.
Correct. Yeah.
And it's over a period of
It's-
time.
Over a period of 4 years, right? Yeah.
They just require a
So we're
hard cast
talking
match.
about, $700,000 a year if it lasted 4 years.
If you got all of it.
If we got all of
If we
it.
got everything.
Yeah, and,
That's right.
and that's a big if. I don't want anyone to, have expectations that we might get it all, but I mean, it's unprogrammed right now. Why not ask for it all?
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's possible then we could get one of the projects, but not the other three or vice
Correct.
versa. Okay.
Correct.
That's why we went with the first phase from the school to school.
Yeah, the most important one, and we've talked to the school system, and that's their most important project right now, if we do any of these.
Very good. Good update. Thanks, Joe.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? It is so passed. The next item is Resolution R-016-26 to award a contract to Allied Electrical and Control Systems, Inc. for the generator project funded by the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. This money will come out of SPLOST. It is our 25%. Is Curtis here? Did Curtis stay? There he is. I don't want to mess this up, sorry.
Okay.
So on on the resolution, it has the 987,000, but that's not
our obligation.
That's not our obligation, that's right.
Thanks for allowing me to present to the board. The resolution is for the total grant that we received from the state for the 987, 983. The county's obligation is only $173,895.40, which the state will match through federal funds, $695,581.60. So
Of
the
that
25%
yeah.
of our locations are the 173. We have, I was speaking to the commissioners earlier, and we have 9 total sites. They're remote sites. 8 of them are remote, and then we have 1 stationary site. These sites are all water lift stations and such. We consider for emergency management, critical facilities, and that's what the grant was for. And we'll have 3 portable generators that will locate throughout the county, north, south, and in the center of the county for a quick response when needed. I ask that y'all give it great consideration when you can buy 9 sites.
Okay, thank you.
Curtis, you said that'd be for your, water pump stations and
Lift
sewer
station.
lift stations?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Yeah, we worked with the Walker County Water System and toured all of their sites, and those were the critical sites that they had mapped out for us back in 2019. There were several sites that were on the list that we've purchased over the years. So, the water treatment plant at Chickamauga, we had that there, so that came off of the total grant. And so we are very fortunate to be awarded this grant, and it's a good savings for the citizens of the county.
And we did an RFP for the project
We,
itself and.
we done an RFP for all the sites. We had five different vendors, show up, toured all the sites, get a good understanding of what was needed, and we received those, bids. We reviewed them, and the, Allied was the second lowest. And to kind of put it in perspective, what the grant does, they were $100,000 more than the lowest bid, but that $100,000 equals our 25,000 to make up that difference. So we were able to go with a local, as we consider a local vendor. The rest were out of our area, and they're familiar with us. We have great relationships with their electrical people and the generators. We have a few that we bought from them already. Is Caterpillar is the name brand that we're going with on these sites.
Good. All right, may I have a motion from the board, please?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second? Any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? You
Would-
have,
Would you like me to entertain, and if you could skip down to the other generator? 2 or 3 down for the Hinkle Community Center?
the Hinkle Community Center?
Yes.
Elections office, right?
Elections office,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry.
14.6.
Sure, we can, if the board is okay with us skipping
ma'am,
down there
we'll-
while he's here. So we'll skip to 14.6, the purchase order 2026-0001052 for $69,134.67 to Standby Service Solutions LLC to purchase a generator for the elections office, and this is also out of SPLOST funding. So they've moved in, the elections office is open, and we're so excited to have them in their new home.
And I'm glad to say that another local vendor that we're able to use actually was the low bid on this project. And we feel confident that we have a great long-lasting relationship with this person.
May I have a motion, and then we can discuss if we need to.
Motion to approve.
In a second?
Second.
Is there discussion?
Yes, well, yes and no, yes and no. I guess, I don't know if it's the proper time, so if it's not, I'll hold it for later, but Curtis, can you kind of catch me up on where we are on the generators that we allocated, the COVID, some of the
Yep.
COVID money for, about $800,000 to put these generators where we've got
Yes, sir.
some of our sites, we got signs and we need generators?
Yes. There's approximately $850,000 in the SPLOST funding right now. We just allocated or obligated the 173,895. That leaves a lion's share of that money still available for the signage, for the signs that we already passed a resolution for. We have some other sites that are a priority in the county that we have prioritized as critical locations that we need to address. Some of those generators in that priority list are $200,000 generators. So when we still have, $500,000 or $600,000 left, it doesn't go far when you start talking about $200,000 here and $200,000 there. So we have to be very cautious of the list and the priority list, and this board make a decision of which ones to fund, for that existing SPLOST money.
I'm not so sure that I'm recalling it right, but I didn't think that was SPLOST funding that we allocated, Brian. You were there with me. Shannon was still the chair then, but I thought that was out of some of our ARP or COVID money is what I thought, but I could be mistaken.
We have a line item for emergency generators in the 2020 SPLOST. The ARPA money, to my knowledge, a year or so ago has been spent out.
How could they spend it out when we allocated it for?
I can answer that question.
Well, we'll get an answer.
It was spent before I got here.
Yeah, we need an answer on that.
All right, we
You can
will,
look at the records.
We will, yeah, we'll get that to you, to the board. All right, I have two motions. Now I need to vote. All in favor, the motions were to approve. All in favor to approve, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, that one is approved. Now we'll skip back up to 14.4, Resolution R-017-26, to award a contract. Are you going to talk about it, Christian?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, come on up. I'll finish. For enterprise resource planning software. This is our internal financial system. So Christian, take it away.
Yeah, just transitioned pretty well. I could have pulled that data from my phone with this new software. So I really want to bring us into the 21st century. And I think I've found a company to do that. We did an RFP opening on January 5th. We had 13 bids, which I believe that's broken a record for the amount of bids received. But we held 3 demos with the most cost-effective vendors, and we were very impressed with BSNA. I believe they could be a lot of cost savings that they offer. Their credit card processors that we pay currently in the county that we could get rid of because they have that service. Currently, we pay around $80,000 to maintain our current software. And this would be annually $46,000. So there would be a huge cost cutting measure there. But there would be an implementation period where we have to onboard. This is a lot of financial data. We have to move over to the new system. And this company says they can do it from 10 to 12 months. And that cost would be about $101,000. So currently, I'm asking for the first year of $147,520 to be awarded to BSNA for our ERP system.
And a couple things. We had another employee panel that was used to go through the RFP process. I'm sorry, in the demos. So it wasn't just Christian doing it by himself. And there was one other thing, and I forgot what it was. Oh, the public-facing part of it.
Yes.
It provides transparency because the public will be able to get some of this data on their own. I don't know what pieces of it, but we'll figure that out. But we don't have that today in the current system. So, all right. So I need a motion for this, please. What's the board's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any more discussion? Any questions for Christian?
Just some questions to understand the cost of it. And you explained it to me on the phone, but, I can't remember what you said. So the 175.
147.
147.
Sorry, the 175 was just I was waiting on a final price, and we just wanted to make sure that we're covered because we got a quote that included some modules we didn't need.
Okay.
So we reduced that cost.
And so the annual cost for this software is less than our annual cost now.
Correct.
About half.
About half. Okay. So our initial upfront investment, we'll get it back pretty quick.
Yes.
Okay.
And I did want, Christian, elaborate just a hair on that, and Angie, you mentioned it, but that, when we talked about it, about the, that access, kind of speak on that just a little.
It will be a website. It'll be on our website. They can go on and look at our financial data. They'll be able to see the meetings that I'm presenting, kind of that data. They can drill down, see what departments are spending what and how the budget's going. And I feel like it'll be very informative and very transparent. And the citizens deserve that.
And easy to use.
Yes.
I think it's a good thing. That's good to
And
be able to.
And there'll be logins for y'all where y'all can customize your dashboards, and all department heads can have different dashboards where they see the important data that matters to them immediately as soon as they log in. So,
But if they're getting on there, this is secure. Like they're not getting into.
Yeah, they can't change the data.
No, they cannot change anything. But no, it's like it just pulls the data.
Yeah.
There's no, putting data back in. And there's also a vendor portal, so vendors will be able to see, if they're waiting for payment, they'll be able to see that check's in a PO status or that check's been paid and is in the mail. So
Will the vendor be able to, I'm sorry, will the vendor be able to put in their own PO or their own invoice or?
No.
Okay.
It'll just be W-9s. They could submit changes to their current, but no, that needs to be on the department head. That
Yeah.
we
okay.
can't allow that.
So will that eliminate check cutting? Can you do ACH funds to these vendors?
So yes, and that's something that we're wanting to transition to, doing ACH funds a lot more. They also have another service where they could completely outsource our check printing, but we aren't looking at that currently.
Because we'll reduce it.
Right. So another question I have, just because we've been discussing it at my place of employment, also was with fraud and people trying to scam. Like what does this software and this home board have in place to prevent that? Do we have insurance for that if we send the money to the wrong people?
Yes, that'll be negotiated in the contract that we have. There is plenty of security data. They have 2 different data centers. So if something happens to that data center, all our data can be up very quickly in another one. Okay. They are very secure in what they provide.
You good? All right, any other discussion? We've got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, that is approved. And then 14.5, purchase order 2026-0001105 for $168,743 to Gordian for containment and remediation Phase 2 of the Walker County Courthouse. And RF Passion is still here. I'm sorry, I say that every time. The Passion Company is still here if anybody wants to talk. Do you have something to say? Okay. Does the board have any questions for them?
No, ma'am.
Okay. We appreciate y'all hanging around, though. Thank you. So again, this is just containment and remediation of what is the mold and the asbestos that's there now. So what's the pleasure of the board? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second. Yes,
Thank you. So any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, it is so moved and approved. And the last item under new business is 14.7, purchase order 2026-0001104 for $103,650 to North America Fire Equipment Incorporated, NAFCO, for annual fire and rescue personnel protective equipment program, PPE. Is Blake here? Does he want to talk about it? Do you want to speak about it, Blake?
Can.
Let's wait and see if the board has any questions. This is, I ought to make him, shouldn't I? This is pretty normal stuff that we purchase, so y'all have seen this a bunch of times anyway. So what is the pleasure of the board for this item?
I make a motion, we approve.
In a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions for Blake? Please have a
Yes,
question.
I got a question.
Come on in here, Blake.
Sorry.
Just a question for you. So
Oh, for me?
the funding for this comes from, I mean, it's not SPLOST funded, is it?
It's capital.
But yeah,
Capital
it's
funds.
coming out of
Capital
our,
funds that you budgeted.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm good.
That's what that was easy. My question.
Don't say anything else.
all right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, this one's approved too. Now we're getting into closing comments. So commissioner comments, Mr. Blakemore, would you like to go first?
Just since everybody come out getting involved in your government, if I can help that during that.
Mr. Askew?
Thank you, everybody, for attendance. We had a large crowd. We had a lot of passionate conversation, and I think that always helps us to look at all angles. And so, shout out to all of our employees. Just keep on doing a good job. We appreciate it.
Mr. Hart?
Especially a shout out to Greg McConnell. Greg retired today. Was his last day. Of course,
Yay.
he's not here, but
Still working in the office.
he's probably still working.
He was there when I left, yeah.
I did not get by to see him, but I meant to. But Greg's worked here for 20+ years.
23.
23 years for 2 different sole commissioners, 2 different board of commissioners, and done a great service for our county. So he's kind of a bookworm. He sits back at his desk. You can't see him, but he's adding up numbers, and he's done a fabulous job, and we're going to miss him, but we're glad Christian's here.
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Thank you for everybody coming out. Would like to announce Cedar Grove Community Club is doing their annual wild game dinner. It's an annual fundraiser on Saturday night for their book bags they do for the schools. It's their annual fundraiser on Saturday night at 6 o'clock.
So,
Okay, is there any need for executive session? No? Okay, then I will say we are adjourned. Thank you.
are you going to?
Okay, cut me off.